beginning of this year, who had the chances to go almost undefeated through the whole year? I would say the Giants would be in the middle of the pack.
Yeah, maybe.
You know, I mean, you would probably give it to the Eagles, you know, the Packers,
you know,
things like that.
You know what I'm gonna do? Next week, whenever we film our podcast, I'm gonna pull up our breakdown from when we broke the teams down. Remember that? When we were all rusty, we were winging it like a couple birds, and we had broken wings. Trust me, we were winging it with broken wings. But we're gonna pull that back. We're gonna see what we said about the Giants. We're gonna put ourselves on a blaster, if you will.
Yeah.
Because you know, we're just two guys talking about these things, and I was wrong about the Giants. I did not see them going 15-0 like you were saying. Isn't it interesting? What did we say about the Giants? I mean, I'm pretty sure I said, oh, they're probably a middle of the pack team.
Yeah, I think we gave them a decent. You know, I definitely like the Mod Bradshaw aspect. You know.
Yeah, but I think we definitely gave it to the Eagles winning the division.
Yeah.
I think we were like, oh well, they're the dream team. They're the ones that are gonna. I think we said they're the ones that are gonna challenge the Steelers, and now the Steelers is winning the division, maybe in the wild card.
Yeah.
I mean that's remarkable.
I think we can go back for our next session if you want with a special guest.
Yeah, I think we got a boy here, Alex. So let's keep rolling, man. We're like 2 hours deep, but we're talking about playoffs, man. Playoffs, man. Yeah, we're not talking about practice. We're talking about playoffs. So let's keep it going.
I got stats about the Giants that would definitely show you that.
Yeah, I'm all for it, man. Let's keep it going. Why not?
Mock draft, but I think I'll do that come week 1 of the playoffs, especially if I don't make it. I'll have plenty of time then.
Well, you heard it. Another mock draft coming. That was live, Alex. So it's on the board now. So people are going to be looking for it now.
Yeah,
Podcast call
I
out.
was going to do one a week or 2 ago, but I haven't had time.
Yeah.
I've had a lot of things going on, so.
That's understandable, but look out for Alex's mock draft whenever he does have time. Maybe you hope he doesn't make the playoffs so he has more time. I don't know if you want to be that cynical, but I want to get your guys' opinion just overall. No, more Alex's opinion, because we talked about it. Me and Stocks talked about the importance of the playoffs and how fun it's been. What does the playoffs mean to you, Alex? What does this playoffs kind of show you? Like, what do you take from it?
What do you mean, like, what does it
mean? Win or lose, like, okay, next season starts, right? Off season, you're picking up players, you're drafting up players. When you look back on your season this year, what do you think? Like, wow, I came back from, basically, I was totally horrible. I was tied with Logan for last place, and he still continued to sink, and I rised up. Or do you be like, well, I still lost? The playoffs, I still lost, or hey man, I won the Super Bowl. It's still wide open. But what do you think you'll take from the season, and you'll apply to next season?
Obviously, it depends on what actually happens whether I make the playoffs or not. But it's kind of like there's always room for improvement. So it's not like I definitely did. Like you can't really say I definitely. I had a perfect season, or unless you're in maybe the Giants case. Even then, there's going to be things he's going to want to improve on. Like around his team and stuff.
Isn't this guy amazing, Stocks? This kid's young and he gets it, man. You still improve. I love it, Alex.
Oh yeah, no doubt about it. Like you've been touting it all year, like how he's come along, and this is perfect. You're hearing it.
You're preaching to the choir, man.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. It's just even then, I'm going to be trying to improve whatever happens.
Yeah.
To be honest, I'm not sure whether I'd rather just miss out on the playoffs or get in and then kind of lose in round 1, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Because either way, it's pretty heartbreaking. And
yeah, right.
Like I put all that effort in, and it kind of in the last couple of weeks and kind of come up now. It was kind of like I suppose it gives you something if I do get in, kind of saying, yeah, that's what I can do if I put my mind to it. And the fact that early last season was annoying. In fact, I probably should have 1 or 2 more wins, and it was annoying. My internet went down for a bit.
Yeah.
No, that's an excuse. It's kind of like an extra game win here or there could have made it so I'm in a slightly more comfortable position coming into the playoffs. But
exactly.
Even then, playing the game, it's kind of looking to improve on next season. Just try and be more consistent, get a bit starting off a lot quicker. That's think that's going to be my goal for next season, whatever happens.
And we talked about that. We talked about going to 7-0 or being in playoff mode for like 4 or 5 weeks, and definitely winning right away is the best way to go.
Yeah.
So
because even in the NFL, it's kind of like teams with a bad record kind of have a lot less chance than making it in. How they were talking about the Bears saying having a very slim chance they had of making the playoffs. And look where they are now. They kind of look at a win against Detroit on Sunday, and well, I'm just saying, winning on Sunday, and they're in very good shape for making the playoffs. Considering the rest
it is true. I underestimated the Bears, and
as everyone always does.
I admitted it, man. Okay, a lot of people don't admit it, so you gotta give me credit for at least admitting it.
Well, yeah.
But yeah, I think that's it for Gridiron. We went probably 3 hours deep. If you want more coverage, I don't know what you should do. Maybe make your own podcast. I don't know. I mean, come on, man.
Join us on one.
Oh, join us. Okay. That's a great point. Okay, here, seriously, I'm so sick of people saying, "Oh, your podcast is great." Podcast is great, but come on, man. There's no microphone. I mean, there's no headset. Excuse me. There's no. What am I looking for? And I've been talking for 5 hours.
Just get Skype.
Yeah, get Skype. There's no webcam. We can't see you. It's a black screen when we talk. I mean,
You can be
listen.
You can be bareback doing the podcast. You don't even know.
Yeah, right. I don't make any noises while you're bareback. I won't know that, but okay. But basically, get Skype. My name is Logan.Buck3. That's all you gotta know. Add me. I'll add you to the show. We'll even work around your schedule. I know Manny's joined us. But we've talked to Manny enough. Manny's Manny. Okay? Listen, it was great to have Manny. Well, great to have Manny again, but let's hear from other people. Wouldn't it be great? What?
People have any questions as well if they kind of, and they can't make it onto the thing, if they kind of just like
post them.
Well, PM one of us.
Yeah.
If they want it to be kind of a bit of a surprise, just PM one of us and we'll get around to doing it in the next show.
Yeah.
If we can.
That's all you got to do.
We got all night.
Or anything you want us to specifically look at.
Yeah.
Just stuff like that. So.
Yeah, but you know how it is, Alex. People in the chat like, oh my God, when's the next show coming out? So there's obviously buzz. But there's no, like, I understand some people are gun shy. They don't want to be on camera. They don't want to be heard on the microphone. Then send your questions in, you know. Or join the show. Or, you know, you don't have to stay for a whole segment. We're not going to keep you for 3 hours. We're the crazy cat women that do it all the time. But you don't have to stay for the whole. Stay for 5 minutes. Stay for 10 minutes. Heck, when
just come on, ask a question, and then piss off.
Yeah.
whatever you want to do.
Well, that's it. Like when what was it when dang, I've been talking too long. When Manny was on here the first time, he came back from a wedding. You know, he obviously wasn't like looking to stand for an hour and a half. He had his wife and ready, you know, whatever girlfriend. I don't mean if he's proposing. I don't mean to say that, but you know, he had his.
Wait a minute, what?
I don't know if it's his wife, girlfriend, or what. I haven't got clarification on that. I don't want to pop the question or be the reason. Dumb American guy, but so I don't know. But he had his significant other in the bedroom, so he wasn't gonna stay on for hours and hours and chat us up. But he got on. He asked his questions. He was interactive. That's what it's about. It's being, in all seriousness now, it's about being interactive with us, with the league. You can do it multiple ways. The chat board, you can send us a private message if you really, you know, want to be that decommitted. We still, you know, however you get a hold of us, just get a hold of us, you know. Hey, if you don't like me, add stocks. You know, I'm sure he doesn't mind. He'll add you to the conversation. You can.
Sounds good.
You can tell me about how much you hate me, or you know, all this stuff. I don't care. Come on, man. Just. I mean, this is a fun time, isn't it, Alex? Playoff time, man. You're dead, aren't you, Alex? We're talking about playoffs, and I'm like, it's playoff time, and Alex is like,
Alex is sleeping.
It's only nearly 1 a.m. It's fine.
Alright.
It's not too late.
See, we can film this. We filmed it at 8 o'clock our time, which is probably like what 1 a.m., 2 a.m. for you.
Yeah.
I mean,
sometimes, yeah.
we filmed at 9 p.m. We filmed at 2. I've done special things with Mandy to film at 2 p.m. when Stocks wasn't available. Hey, if you want to be on the show, I got the editing ability to make you seem smart, to seem intelligent. I'll make it seem like you were right there with us, and it could just be me
But
and...
they are smart and intelligent. They don't...
Oh, of course, yes. Of course. All I'm saying is, like, if you have a question and I'm the only one on, and say we're not actually filming a show, all you have to do, come on, I'll ask you a question, you answer it, I'll put you in the next show. You don't actually have to be, you know what I mean? They don't actually have to be here when we film the show. All I need is just the clip. I'll edit it in when we do the show. It's just simple as that. So I don't want to hear about how time restraints. I've heard a couple overseas guys say, well, I was going to join, but it's so late. Listen, I'm up all night, tired with the hours. Ask Stocks, I'm up at 6 a.m., I'm up at 5 a.m., I'm up at 3 a.m. I'm probably more... What? Oh, God.
What?
Wait, what?
What?
What's going on?
Oh, man. No, I'm just saying, like, I'm up all the time. Stocks is on. We're kind of universal. If you can't get a hold of one of us, you're not really trying. So, if you want to join the show, there it is.
I'm pretty sure you can leave voicemail on Skype, so
There you go.
You can,
That's
actually.
the option.
just send a message and we'll
Yeah.
answer it.
Listen, I can edit any kind of clip in. I don't care what time I get it in the morning. I can just edit it into the show. It'll just be like you were talking to us right now. You know, you hear Stocks boys. I mean, listen, there's no excuse. If you want to be on the show, if you want to, hey, if you don't want to be, that's okay. But how can you not? We're talking about playoffs. So,
What about people who aren't in the playoffs might not want to be on it?
well, they could talk about draft.
We'll be talking about draft soon.
They could talk about who they're going to draft, who the free agents are, why they had such a bad season. I mean, and this whole, oh, I'm in the playoffs, I'm not in the playoffs, it's universal, man. We can talk about all kinds of things. We can talk about, yeah, what?
Talk about how they who they think's going to win the playoffs and stuff. And
Yeah.
There you go. We're going to have plenty of that.
Well, in real life, they bring guests, you know, they bring in, what was it, the White Sox guy, shoot, I can't think of his name.
AJ Brzezinski.
Yeah, AJ Brzezinski. He's a White guy, you know, calling the World Series, helping them out with some, you know, baseball analysis. You know, he's not in the playoffs, but he's still, you know, contributing because he loves the game of baseball. So if you love the game of football, if you respect this league and, you know, you're not in the league and you want something to do, I'm not in the playoffs either, man. We'll be drinking our martinis while these two are battling it out. Heck, maybe we're looking at the Super Bowl right now between these two and we can just sit back and have a few brewskis. I don't know. But come and join us and have some fun, man. That's what this is about. I probably won't even edit most of this time because I want to show how much fun this is and you don't have to be perfect. That's it. I'm not even going to edit this, man. I'm really not. Because I don't want people to be like, oh my God, well, I'm going to sound stupid. I mean, hey, I'll edit you out. I'll make you, like, even if you make the biggest blooper in the world, I've done it recently. These guys are laughing because they know what it was. I'm not going to repeat it. But I made a pretty good bit. Yeah.
It's a deadly bad blooper.
Deadly. It was pretty bad. I'm not even in liberty to really tell you what it was. But I made
combat fatality. You know when the little guy pops up and you're playing fatality? Toasty!
Then he's
Like
dead.
that. Yeah, fatality.
But, so, I can edit, I can not edit, I can do all kinds of things. So if you make a mistake, if there's some dead air where they're like, I asked you a question and you're like, what did you say? I was busy, didn't hear you. Whatever, just, okay, I'll edit that out, we'll continue, it's no big deal. These guys, I mean, Stocks, how bad were you that first week? You know, we got a lot better since then.
Oh, we were horrible.
All you have to do is join us a few weeks, you get in the swing of things, you start getting each other's personalities down. Now, sometimes I'll be talking about serious stuff, I'll just be chatting away, this guy had this, that. And Alex will start laughing out of the blue, and I'm like, What's so funny? I guess I must have sounded funny or something to this Brit here. I don't know what it is.
Well, there was the lemon drops. And then whenever anyone had, when back in the day where we had video, and basically whenever anybody back in there, I just kept thinking of lemon drops.
Well,
thing.
That's it. I think because you can hear your voice and because I do some editing, they think, oh, it's like intimidating. Listen, we're not intimidating. I mean, like I said, I made bloopers before. I was talking to Stocks one time and he totally didn't hear me. He was off in La La Land. I mean, that's okay. You don't see that because I edit some of that out, but it happened.
Then there's been disconnections as well where Logan's been sitting there a couple of seconds later. Oh no, we're having some technical difficulties here.
Yeah, and I cut most of it out. I mean, I cut some of it because I was just mad bored. I thought, somebody's going to laugh at my displeasure. Because it is kind of funny to think, here's this guy chatting, and then all once he's chatting to himself, thinking these other two baboons are on here, and they end up not being, so. But my point is, it's not as intimidating as you think it is. It's quite fun, actually. What was it when we filmed our first podcast, Doc? You were like, this is wicked cool. I mean, at first it's kind of, oh, God, Alex looks like that, Stocks looks like that. Oh, my God, Logan's a big guy, he needs to go on Jenny Craig. But then you're like, you get used to each other, and you just, it becomes like this, I don't know, weekly thing where you just banter back and forth. And to be honest, it's kind of more like ESPN after a while. We're kind of the ESPN broadcasters of Gridiron, really. I mean, people look for us for some entertainment. They look for humor. Then they look for the more serious, like the in-depth stats. Like, well, I didn't realize the Giants were 15-0 and they had the best rushing game. I bet you if you did a poll right now on Gridiron, most people wouldn't know that the Giants had the best rushing game. But you told them that little nugget of information because we can be totally interactive. I mean, there's people in this league that work hella hours. They work all the time. So they don't have time to look at stats, but because we can give them the show and that kind of stuff, it's really fun for us because I don't really have anything else to do. I guess like they said, sometimes we don't have lives, but that's I guess that's
better than sitting at a bar drinking.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, you could be doing a lot worse of things. Alex being such a young guy, he could be getting himself in trouble in gang initiations or whatever.
Yeah, because there's so many gangs in the middle of.
Hey, that's not just a U.S. thing. Don't say it is. Hey, easy now.
Well, yeah, it depends where.
I'm just saying, you could be doing a lot worse things. And then.
Playing Madden, for goodness sake.
Playing Battlefield.
No, but I heard from I think it was the Chiefs owner, told me later this year, he's like, I was busy at work. Work was kind of boring. I think he works some kind of night shift. I don't know if he works like a bridge or I don't know exactly what he does, but it sounds like he's pretty boring a lot, not a lot of social interactions, at least when he works this night shift. He said he listened to our show to get him through the night.
There you go.
I don't know if he's a security guard or what he is, but
Well, he's going to need it tonight because he's going to have the long one coming.
Yeah, he's got a long one coming, doesn't he? Oh, man.
I'll fall asleep halfway through.
So we should just say good morning and wake him up, man. I said, I'll edit a rooster or something. Like, cock-a-doodle-doo!
Wow.
No, but I mean, we went really too long with this, but I'm just going to stop it.
On one final note, are we still going on?
Yeah, no, you can't even say bye to the guys.
No, on one final note, I think if people have their own playoff predictions of what things are going to happen, they could leave it on one of our voicemails on Skype.
Yeah.
Our Skype information will be on the contact page thing.
Yeah, I'll put it on there.
Or it will be put on. And if people want to leave it on voicemail, then preferably, well, it's easier if it's Logan's, but because he can put it onto the show more easily. But even then, on the show, and you can see what people's opinions on how the playoffs are going to turn out. So. Hey,
and if you think I'm going to edit you bad or something, hey, send me 20 voicemails of you, basically audition tapes of how you want to sound. That's fine. I'll sort through them. You tell me which one you want me to use, and we'll move on. But And people say this show's too long. Listen, I'm gonna post it on YouTube. It's not like I'm putting on your TV screen right now to watch. I mean, watch it in segments.
Handcuffing you to a chair, making you listen to it.
Hey man.
Duct taping your eyes open or your ears.
Hey man, Manny's pretty committed. I wouldn't put it past him. He loves this league. So if Manny comes running at you with a piece of duct tape, you know why. You better get off that chair.
Next thing's going to be like a quiz on the show to see who's listened to it. If you don't go over 60%, you get kicked out.
Don't put it past them.
Oh man. We love you too, Manny. Don't worry. Man, he's one of a kind, I tell you that guy. But no, but okay, this show, what is it like? What is it like? Probably 3 hours. But think about it this way: most shows nowadays are like 30, 40 minutes. So break it into days. Watch one segment, watch mine and stock segment in the beginning, and watch an hour of it or half an hour of it, and then come back. So that way, by the end of the week, you know what's going on. I mean, if you don't want to listen to all that, that's cool. If you want to be more of a serious side, but hey, I like it when we kick back and we have a few jokes. But for now, I think that's it. I think we went long enough. Peace out, guys.
Peace.
Breaking news, special report. We're going to swing it over to the Giants.
Special report here. Special rate from the xextremefootball.net. Looking over the Giants' magnificent 15-0 record, their points per game is second overall in the league at 31. Passing yards, Eli Manning averaging 378 yards passing. Total yards, sorry. The passing yards are 188, ranked 17th, and their rushing is number 1. So there you go. There's the key factor in all of this. 190 yards averaging in the league with Bradshaw and Jacobs.
Wow. Okay, I know that their offensive line is pretty solid. Jacobs is pretty nice, but they got a nice two-headed. They got Bradshaw there. They got a nice little two-headed monster, well, thunder and lightning, if you will. But to be number 1, I mean that's remarkable.
That's why I think Ahmad Bradshaw is he's one of the best in the league. There you go. He's picking up the pieces of Eli Manning after whatever damage he does.
Could we possibly have made a mistake? We need.
No. I still believe Eli because of Eli.
No. I'm saying we gave McFadden the number 1 running back in the game award.
Yeah, just probably because of his breaking ability, his big game threat. I think Bradshaw's more of the grinder in between tackles and basically drives the team for first downs and drives the ball. Versus, McFadden can take a 99-yard touchdown to the house, stuff like that. I believe McFadden is the game changer, game breaker, as Bradshaw is more of the grinder.
I agree. No, I totally agree with that. I just wanted to ask you the question to see if you could defend it, basically.
No, I would definitely still give it to McFadden as the best running back, but Bradshaw got to be up there.
I think the Giants might have the best running team, but I think Brandon Jacobs, obviously he has to be a factor. Where really, I don't think in this game Bush is really a factor to McFadden. Where Jacobs could really steal some of Bradshaw's carries. Find Brandon Jacobs really quick for me. It should be pretty easy in the league. Maybe I can even do it. What I want to know is how many carries does he have? How many carries has he actually stolen from Bradshaw?
Well, I can give you Bradshaw's. Bradshaw's carried the ball 281 times for 1,900 yards.
Okay.
And 19 touchdowns.
Okay.
So he's definitely gotten the workload. He's unbelievable.
Yeah, he really is.
The outside threat,
Yeah.
Brandon Jacobs, he's only carried the ball 103 times for 754 yards and 7 touchdowns.
That's still pretty good for a backup, is what I'm saying.
Yeah, so he's definitely bringing. The bell or the whistle. You know?
Yep. So but I think that's exactly why Bradshaw's not number one in our book, because number one, to me, number one is a bell cow that can carry your team. Although I think they have the best rushing attack, I don't think you could name Bradshaw a number one back. I don't think you could ride him the whole season.
No, the compliment of Jacobs definitely helps out Bradshaw. Where, well, you could kind of say that with McFadden because Bush is somewhat. Michael Bush for the Raiders is similar style to Brandon Jacobs as they're both, big, 6'4" guys, big backs, heavy guys that pound it, so they're similar in styles, both of them, and they're both very good running teams. So that's basically showing you something in Madden that it's really good to have a power back and a speed back.
Yeah. Let me give you an analysis, okay? You got a guy who's a single guy. No one really likes him, but he gets a pretty girl to go right along his arm there. He starts taking her out in public. People start looking at him now. Now he's interesting because he's got this pretty girl on his arm. Before he was nothing.
Okay.
That's kind of what Bradshaw is to me. When he's got, the big Jacobs to show off and say, look at big Jacobs, man. Pat that big belly. Then he's all set. He's got that compliment, like you were saying. But when he's by himself, he's like, oh, I'm kind of small. I don't want to get hit. What if I get injured? There's all these questions. But the two of them together, perfect match. So there's my little Match.com plug. But, seriously, that's what it is. Would you want Brandon Jacobs as your, not Brandon Jacobs, would you want Bradshaw as your number one back? Probably not, but he's a perfect complement back.
The thing is I think he has the attributes and the profile of a running back that could be on somewhat any team and still give you these type of stats.
Yeah.
I just think that's the style of back he is.
I just think without a power back, he can't carry it 100% all the time. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. What do you think, Alex? Do you think it's more about Jacobs and taking pressure off Bradshaw, or do you think Bradshaw could be a number one back, a bell cow, carry it 30 times for a whole season? We're talking whole season now. We're not talking one game.
He's done it for the Giants in real life this season, with it being more the other way around.
Yep.
So I think it's possible that on Madden it could be done, but I don't think it depends on the offense you run and the type of running back you prefer. Yep,
that's true. It is true about that.
For example, I know a lot of people prefer a speed back over a more powerful back, for example. So I imagine for them, he'd be the starting back if they're the Giants.
Yeah.
So I think it's impossible to say one's more of the starting back than the other.
Well,
because trying to short yardage situation, you want someone just to get the short yards that you need to get the first down, touchdown, whatever. You'll put Jacobs in, but you wouldn't put Bradshaw in for that. For example, if you wanted to get like 10 yards on the ground on a draw play or something, you're not exactly going to put Jacobs in for that. So it's kind of, I wouldn't say that in that system you can say one would be dominant over another and say a different scheme. I'm not sure whether it would be much different, but it depends on the other options they've got. So
it's true. Now, before you joined us, Alex, the goal was to talk just about the playoff races, but we were like, how do we talk about the playoff races without talking about the Giants being 15-0? How do you talk about playoff races when the Giants isn't in a playoff race, and it's not his fault he's not in a playoff race? He just dominated everyone he played, So as we talk about playoffs and the playoff races and how fun they are, because we talked about your division and the Tennessee Titans and your battle coming up with him. We talked about the Bengals and the Steelers. We talked about we talked a lot about the AFC though, didn't we? A lot about the AFC.
We broke it down a little bit.
We talked a little bit about the NFC and how the Vikings still got a shot and how that's amazing because he's playing in such a tough division. But a lot of times people overlook these 15-0 teams because they think, well, but okay, Alex, say you make the playoffs hypothetically. Do you put any stock? No point intended. Do you put any stock into the Giants being 15-0 this season? Let's say you even go 16-0. Does that scare you going into the playoffs, or is it like, or do you think of it like, oh, it's a different, almost like a different league or a different time? Everyone's 0-0. Playoffs are a different, monster in themselves.
Well, even then, like with my game that I've got to play coming up against the Titans.
Yep.
To be honest, the season before has nothing to do with it. In effect, basically, the winner of this game, chances are it's going to win the division.
Yeah.
So it's not like I can say, yeah, I've got a. It's not like it's essentially a playoff game before the playoff season starts.
Yep.
It's kind of that mentality, but the fact that nothing's actually nothing can count for it. You can kind of use it for like you can kind of think
reference.
You can use kind of think what their tendencies are and stuff from games before, but there's nothing that you can say, yeah, they're definitely going to do that, or they're definitely going to be a dominant team. Yeah, chances are they're going to play well, but even then, one loss and they're out of it. It could be their first loss, and it could be it's obviously going to be the biggest loss of their season for them, as they only have one. But even then, it could be a lot more detrimental than a loss earlier in the season. So
I think we're all on the same page. The playoffs are a different game. It's like a season on top of a different. It's a totally different season. Just with not as many teams. I don't think you can say because the Giants are 16-0 that he's gonna win the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
I think
for some teams the playoffs kind of already started.
Yeah.
Like for me, for example, the playoffs is basically started a couple of weeks ago. It's basically win or go home. If I win, I get a step closer to the playoffs. If I don't, it's basically I'm out and can't get into the playoffs. So.
Now, Stocks, I want to ask you an interesting question. Seeing how you've seen both sides of the coin, you've been, 7-0 you went before you started losing some games?
Yeah, yep.
Would you rather be in Alex's position right now? Where he said for the last few weeks, he's been, I'm either going on the fishing boat, either out of the playoffs, hitting some golf balls, as a lot of players do when they're out of the playoffs, or, hey, I'm fighting for my life here, I'm fighting to survive. Or would you rather have that big start in the beginning of the season? It's an age-old question.
Well, if I didn't have that big start, I wouldn't even be in the race that I'm in right now. So I believe I had to start the way I started.
You think so?
I think I would be sunk because I have the team and I have the players. I just think I'd run into some bad luck or whatever. I have no clue. I still have to figure that out.
Right.
What all it does is take one more victory, and it kind of justifies everything that's happened to the Saints this year.
Yeah, I'm with you. I think you definitely take 7-0, and I think Alex would take 7-0 if he had a choice. But I think there's something to be said, Alex, like you were saying. There's something to be said when teams are automatically in that playoff mode, When it's do or die, and you're in week 13, and you're fighting for your life, and a guy like, the Giants, or a guy like the Jets has his division pretty much, not locked up, but he's pretty comfortable, where you're fighting for your life, tooth and nail. So that's two different philosophies, that's two different opinions. I tend to agree with Stocks. I think you definitely take the lead when you can get it.
Yeah, especially if it means getting a first round playoff bye, it means one game that you can, one less game that you can lose.
Exactly.
But then again, you're coming against first round of the playoffs. You're coming against teams that have scrapped their way into it and have got basically they've been fighting for everything the past few weeks. They're still fighting for everything. So
yeah, it's a double-edged sword.
Yeah, well, it's just interesting. I'll challenge us to the league mates. Here's all you gotta do. Listen to this podcast. I mean, I don't know if you do. Maybe we went too long for your liking. Whatever. You can even fast forward. I'll put little links on it. But I want to know what everyone else thinks. Would you have rather been at Stock's position, going 7-0?
Yes, 7-0.
7-0, or would you rather be in Alex's position right now, where he's been getting in playoff mode for 3 to 4 weeks? So now when he's in the playoffs, he's already kind of had that tough challenge, that win or go home mentality. Because you said it, No matter if once you're in the playoffs, it's either you win or you lose. I mean, there's no second chances, no next week. Alex has been playing that way for a few weeks. Is that more beneficial going into the playoffs, or is it more beneficial to have those early wins? I want to know from everyone. So post your opinions, on the board after I post this video. Let me know. It should be fun debate because really there is no right or wrong answer. I mean, obviously you would assume that everyone wants a lead, but there's something to be said for your mentality, Alex. Because when you get in the playoffs, you can be like, well, this doesn't scare me. I've already been here. I've been fighting for the last 4 weeks, 5 weeks. About your game with the Tennessee Titans, though, real quick. I know you don't want to give anything away. It's a big game. You don't want, he's not going to hear this before your game. Trust me, I won't do that to you. But what kind of scares you about this game, if anything?
Well, let's first, Logan, let's talk about what we both came up with looking over the stats and see what Alex thinks of it.
Okay.
Looking at the stats against both of you guys, the thing that stood out would definitely be coming down to time of possession and the running back play. You have both stud running backs. We believe that it could come down to who's going to have the better running game that day.
Yeah, I think it's going to be more of a case of who can stop the run better rather than, because we know both running backs are going to be very effective. I also think the fact that it could be down to the passing game as well.
Yeah.
Because, you'd expect with the fact that he's got Cook out with injury this time after a bit of a mishap when we tried to play it earlier when the injuries were turned off. I hope it's got all the injuries recorded, otherwise that could be interesting.
No, they're all recorded. According to Manny, everything was sorted out. He verified everything is back to normal. Besides the sim games that, obviously no one cares. If you're getting sim this late in the season, you're probably not in the playoff contention. So.
Yeah, but I think it's going to be more down to how well. It's basically going to be whoever's defense steps up more, because we both know.
Yeah.
Who we can move the ball. I've got the worst, according to the stats, I've got the most yardage against me. But then, turnover-wise, I've got one of the higher turnover differentials in the league. I'm ranked 8 with +2 on turnovers, which got to mean something. So it's going to be, even then, stats kind of mean nothing coming into this game. So
yeah. You might as well throw them in the garbage, huh?
I think it's just going to be a scrap pretty much.
The time of possession of the game is what dictates the outcome, I believe, and that falls back onto the running game. If, let's say, Chris Johnson goes off and MJD doesn't do so great, the advantage goes to Tennessee, vice versa. MJD runs the ball well, but Chris Johnson only puts up 80 yards, and MJD goes off for 140. You're going to control the clock more, which would give you the advantage, I believe.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Chris Johnson is a big burner. He's a big hitter. Where you could slow it down, I think, and still run very, very effectively with Maurice Jones-Drew. I think either Chris Johnson's got to hit the big hole, or he doesn't really have the pounder back mentality. It's either you hit the big hole with him or you don't. Well, Maurice Jones-Drew can kind of nickel and dime you down the field. So
and also the two rookie quarterbacks, how are they going to react?
Yeah. I mean, we haven't seen it though. I mean, we've seen a little bit out of Gabbert lately. I mean, you've been under pressure, like you were saying. He's played fairly well. Wouldn't you say? Being under so much pressure, and you have to win these games. But
I just hope he plays up to the standards he's playing so far.
This is the pinnacle of your season, man. This is what it's all riding on. So you're riding with a rookie quarterback, both of you guys, and that's an interesting dynamic.
And also, you gave up the Sherlock Holmes aspect of it, the game. Also, this is why he got him.
San Antonio.
Yeah, no, you said Sherlock.
Yeah, I know I messed it up.
No, Sherlock Holmes is why he, he's got his little eyepiece in.
Yeah, it's gonna. I think you didn't hear this because we were filming without you, Alex. But I was basically saying I think Sherlock, or so you got me doing it. I think Holmes, Santonio Holmes. I think this is why you traded for him right here, because Sherlock Holmes is a big game performer. And these are what he's known for: the big catches in the Super Bowl, the big, possession when you need it.
Yeah. Ironically, the person who wrote Sherlock Holmes wrote it about 2 minutes walk from my house.
See, there's a connection.
There you go. There's a common sign. There you go.
Yeah, that was a joke I was trying to make all along. I knew that little fact about Alex. I'm gonna take the credit for that one. No, but I just think, if this game, think about this in real terms, fellas, for a minute. If this game was reality, like if this game was this season, right? If all gridiron gamers were playing in the real NFL that broadcast over, millions of countries, all these things, this game, the Tennessee Titans Jaguars, would be the Sunday night game. Monday night game would be the Saints and the Panthers. I mean, these are primetime games. These games, I said it before, I'll say it again, these games are actual games that I'd rather watch than most regular NFL games come Sunday.
And America's game of the week would have been the Jets versus the Giants, purely because of the playoff implication. Well, the fact that could potentially be the Super Bowl. It's the number one AFC team versus the number one NFC team from one point in the season. So it's kind of basically, chances are that could be the Super Bowl if we get to that stage.
Yeah, I never thought about that, but that's true. The game of the week, if you look at the site, that could be the Super Bowl. We don't know. I mean, it's been a wacky, wild, lackluster season, blockbuster season. I mean, it's been a little bit of both, all mixed into one. We've had lackluster moments and we've had blockbuster, but I think this is the prime time of the league. Now, I'm glad Alex is here because Docs can't comment about his game. We gave some predictions about the games, and I think I predicted your game to be a field goal game. I think I said 27-24, Alex, with you winning it. What do you think the scores of the Saints and the Panthers? I think I said 20-27 is what I think I said.
So that's a tough one.
It is tough.
The Panthers have been playing well all season. They haven't had an actual proper loss, I don't think. Well, they might have one or two, but most of the losses they've had are sim losses,
Yeah.
so you can't really take them into account.
I think they've had 2 losses from users.
The Saints are on a bit of bad form at the moment, unfortunately. The Panthers kind of obvious favourites.
So you're going with the hot team. You're right.
Saying the hot team kind of makes them seem as like favourites. I'm sure if there were bookies on this and everything, that would be who the bookies are going for. But coming from this, it's kind of playing for the division. It's kind of playing for the division, playing for the playoffs, and very similar to my division.
Yep.
It's kind of anyone's game.
Yep.
But it's going to come down to performance of quarterbacks more than anything. Because they both know that both teams are going to run the ball fairly successfully. It's just kind of who's going to be have the hotter hand. I think it's probably going to be a bit of a shootout. So
you dodged my question very nicely. You should be an NFL coach. I'll ask you again. What's the final score of the game?
Probably down to the last minute field goal, maybe overtime.
Overtime! Look at Alex!
Look at that.
It's just a game of that importance where it's going to be.
Okay, so you're going to say it's a spectacular game. You're not going to give me a score. Okay.
Well, it's impossible to kind of way or the other, really.
Okay.
It's a game of that importance. It's like I can't say whether I think I'm going to win or whether
that's a little.
It's very much a 50-50 game.
I respect that. I know what you're saying. So, going back to, you mentioned how good these guys are, how they're 50-50, how they're so even, and you dodged my question from here to China. So, do you think these guys both make the playoffs? The loser of the division makes the wild card?
It's possible. The playoff race is very hot, and everyone's going to be fighting for their potential playoff spot. Very, very.
Oh man, I love it, Alex.
So, no, I'm just saying it's possible. I'm not sure on the standings at the moment after I haven't checked them since a couple of games have been played.
Yeah.
So
they're both 9-6, right?
I can't really give her.
They're both 9-6, right?
What are the other teams like on?
I think 8. No wait, we'd have to look, but I think the Panthers and the Saints probably will get in. Let me look. This is what's nice about this site is it's pretty quick. So
Wait, no, they're not. At the moment, if whoever loses, kind of, basically at the moment doesn't get in because the Eagles are on a hot streak. They're 13-1.
So are the Vikings.
Giants are 15-0.
Yep. So are the Vikings.
The Bears lost to the Packers today, so Manny's going to be trying to push for contention. So I think basically whoever drops this game probably just misses the playoffs. That's how tight it is.
Manny won't make the playoffs because the Vikings. I don't see him like even if he beats me, that's who he's got next week. He's got me. Even if he beats me, he's 9-7.
I'm just saying the fact that it's that close.
Yeah.
Kind of, you can't really.
Well,
I think if you drop a game here, you're kind of making your chances very slim.
I guess you got a good point because the Vikings still got to play this week, so that's fair, isn't that right? Yeah. Let's see. Who they got? Let's see. Maybe they play. Let me see. Yeah, I'm not saying it, but I'm pretty sure they still have to play.
If they win that would make them 10-5, fourth in the division, making them win the
wild card. Yeah, right. Let's see.
Yeah, one game off the Bears. They had to play each other and the Packers. The Bears had to play the Packers. The Packers and the Vikings the last 2 weeks of the season. So Manny has a slight chance, a very, very, very slight chance.
I think his last game, his next game's against me. So
Manny's got a slight chance, but it's kind of it's so slight that you wouldn't be willing to put money on it.
No. But every time we count Manny out, he does something spectacular. So maybe
his fate is in more other people's hands than his
own.
Oh,
definitely.
Basically he needs to win and other people need to lose. So.
Yeah, we've already talked about how many crazy tiebreakers there could be and how it might be alphabetical and all that stuff. Before we wrap it up, because we probably have over 2 hours of footage now, and I don't know who's going to listen to this, but we'll come back with another segment because I want to give each guy a fair chance here. So.